We're live and
You're hot.
we're double live. Welcome to the Alberta Craft Beer Guidecast, aka the AGBCG. I don't know why we use an acronym. No one calls it that.
It's almost like it's a mouthful and no one wants to say all that.
Exactly.
Except you.
My name is Andrew and I'm one of the people behind the Alberta Craft Beer Guidecast. We are filming this and recording this, naturally. And our goal is simple. We just want to grow the craft beer community. We do this by educating the interested and entertaining the entrenched. My guest today is, really it's me. However, I do have a co-guest.
Fake guest.
You're still real. You exist on the internet.
Yeah, right.
This is all illusion. It's just a hologram that I've programmed to talk to.
Hi.
Yeah,
Matt,
see?
that's my name.
That was delayed. So yes, this is Matt. He's our wonderful producer. He also has his own podcast called Drink This Podcast. Please listen responsibly.
Please listen responsibly. Episode 100.
Really?
This month. Yeah, buddy.
Good for you, man. We're at like episode 33.
I stopped writing it down.
think
It's on the
32 or
website.
33, something like that. Low 30s, but the plan is to crank it up this year. More content. So anywho, why we don't have like an official guest, not that you're not official, of course.
Fake guest.
You make these things happen. Why we have a fake guest today is the 2019 Brewery Predictions episode.
Sooneries and Rumouries.
Sooneries and Rumouries. So this is the one article that I consistently put together in the guidebook. This is the new spring issue coming out. We'll talk about some launch parties at the end, but basically March 7th and March 15th. Yeah, that looks better.
Yeah,
Getting
I'm just
good
trying to
posture
get
today.
This is a good shot of
Great. As we get into it, I thought it was appropriate that we open a Snake Lake beer. And the reason why there's a Snake Lake beer is, I mean, debatable. They're putting out, I keep saying they're batting 1,000%. They're putting out fantastic beers.
Do you fully understand the ramifications of batting 1,000?
Yeah, of course.
I feel like people use that phrase and they don't understand how truly impressive that feat would be.
I know, and I think it's just as difficult in beer to bat 1,000.
Not that I'm knocking Snake Lake's ability or questioning whether their beer is good.
This guy right here, that's Octavio.
Octavio. I've been trying to remember his name.
Yeah, talk about PA. Anyway, we'll just leave him. He'll be our little unofficial guest. Anyway, so I thought it was appropriate to grab a beer like this because, cheers, my friend. It's a fantastic beer. Oh, yes. My God. It's a fantastic beer, and these guys only started producing beer just over a year ago.
Commercial beer.
Commercial beer just over a year ago. Yeah, they're home brewing, and he obviously brewed at other places before.
Yeah.
He just didn't show up and, Babe Ruth that shit. But, because Babe Ruth totally batted 1,000. Anywho.
No, he did not.
Yeah, obviously. It's got the baseball and everything. I love it. So, the exciting thing is that these guys are doing such a great job with their beers that the breweries we're going to talk about, most of them aren't on the market yet. Some are. They're contract brewing now. They have a space and stuff like that.
Right.
We'll talk about it. But it's cool to see that some of the best beer hasn't been made yet. Which is like...
Yeah.
exciting.
So the philosophy student in me feels like that's a truism. Like the best beer, the best beer in the world you've never tried. Because, like...
you can't prove that unless you try every beer in the world. Yes.
Exactly. I once had this conversation with a retailer once who, when discussing awards, and like, I was really surprised to see X beer win this award because, like, it's great to see it get the recognition. It's great beer. And I can't remember exactly what they said about, like, well, this brewery wins a lot of awards or blah, 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 blah. And, like, they make some of the best beer out there. Like, no. The best beer out there is made in somebody's basement and you never tried it. Like, they just got attention and entered their beer in award ceremonies.
Yeah, totally, right? So, yes, of course. Could someone beat Jordan in his prime? Sure, but they just didn't make the league.
Right.
Or whatever, right? There's always that. So, yes, philosophy student shines. I love it. But I'm going to stick true to my guns and say...
Yeah, do it.
Some good fucking beer is on its way.
It's on its way, yeah. No, I won't fight you on that. Are we going to do it the same way as before? North, Central, South?
So what we're going to do... And great, I love the segue, man. You know me. It's like we've done shows before.
It's like we've done this before.
So I'm going to do Edmonton, Calgary, North, South.
Okay. So are we starting in Edmonton?
We're starting in Edmonton.
All right.
So first up, Edmonton.
Hang on.
Now, and again, when I made my predictions last year, it was March. It was early March. Now it's end of February 2019. there's going to be a brewery that will apply for a license or come on the radar after the fact. Like Cabin Brewing wasn't on my radar. I did the show, and then a month later, they applied for a license, and then they opened that year.
There's some things you just can't account for.
Totally right. I just don't know they exist. Some I do know, and they're on the radar, they're bubbling, but these are the ones that I feel are actually going to open this year.
Okay.
And then at the very end, I'm going to do a quick little contract brewing thing. That some people have beer on the market, they're about to have beer on the market, or they're looking for a space, but I don't see them opening in 2019, but they're on the cusp or like 2020.
So there's a subcategory of
on the radar, on the horizon kind of thing, yeah. All the places I'm going to talk about physically have a space, and there's construction happening on it. They either own the land, or there's all but one, they're doing construction.
Because you got to have rules, right?
Yeah. I mean, I just make them up the rules. That's great. All right, Edmonton.
Okay, E-Town.
Prediction 5 breweries this year.
5 breweries.
Technically 4, and here, we'll get into this in count. The Monolith is a brewery, but you can't go there to drink their beer.
I thought they were going to have a tap room.
They will.
But you can't, but they're brewing beer, but you can't.
Yeah, so the thing is that because their process is, they don't like brew a beer, you know.
Yeah, it's not.
Let it hang out for a few weeks and then pour
bottle it and pour it.
Yeah, they don't have fermenters in their space. Everything is wood aged.
Yeah.
Wood fermented, which is amazing. So his really good stuff is like
Years away.
Yeah, we're still 2, 3, 4 years away from that. Now he does have some wild fermentation and natural fermentation. I don't think he's done the natural fermentation yet, but he's got some wild fermentation stuff that's already tasting amazing.
Right.
Maybe in the fall of this year.
So is the Monolith one of the 5, or is this?
It is one of my 5.
Okay.
But it's like a technical. They got their license last year. They started brewing last year in July. But they might have some beer by the end of the year for the public.
Okay.
If you're like sneaky and no Doug, you get a little tour, maybe get a little sip, maybe, but it's like on lock, key and lock. And actually the tap room isn't built yet. They have to put in the bar and like the tap song and stuff, but everything else about the building, of course.
Have I told you my story about Ben coming to do a tour of the Monolith, like maybe a year and a half ago?
Ben Leon?
Yeah.
Ben?
So he could come up to bring gear up for one of the beer fests, and afterwards, you know, I live nearby White Avenue. It's like, hey, we're going to hit up the next act if you and Matt want to come have some beers with us. And Ben's like, oh man, we're going to get a tour of the Monolith. Maybe we'll see you there later. It's like, that's cool. You know, there's no beer in that place, right? I'm going to go have beer. He's like, yeah, we're going to see the Monolith. It won't take long at all. 2 hours later, he's like, this is a 3-hour tour. I haven't had a fucking beer yet, man. So I started texting him pictures of me drinking all of the beer. It's like, hope you're enjoying your fucking guided tour.
Yes. We love you, Doug. He does give a very thorough, very entertaining tour, and your schedule should be clear.
Yeah. Make sure you got nothing else going on that day.
Man, but it's a long ass tour. Been on a couple times. All right, first official brewery that'll be like open.
Yeah.
Why? Actually, the first one we'll just go alphabetical order for the rest. That's easy.
Okay.
Campio Brewing. So Campio is like the Greek word for champion. Originally it was Champion Brewing. They got some cease and desists. Now they changed it to Campio. It's fine. This is the 5th.
That plan was always in the back pocket, though, wasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you're an entrepreneur. You always you just figure shit out, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't assume what you're doing now is going to work forever, right? So anyway, this is the 5th iteration of the Bear Hill Group.
Right.
So of course they have Jasper, Banff Ave, Wood Buffalo, and Last Best.
Yep.
In Jasper, Banff, Fort Mac, and Calgary, respectively. So now they're finally bringing their talents to Edmonton.
Yay.
They're just across the parking lot from Yellowhead Brewery.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Currently Yellowhead Brewery.
Currently. Do you have rumors you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Do you have confirmed shit, or are you just like speaking? Because if you've heard it, it's not private; it's public, right?
Somebody mentioned to me that they had sold, that Yellowhead had sold.
Yeah, I've heard that.
The building, the brewery, everything
When?
had been sold. I heard this within the week.
Okay.
So my first question was, who paid $10 million for that brand and that building?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, right?
Interesting.
Isn't it interesting, though?
Very interesting. I doubt it's 10. 10 seems like a lot.
Yeah, that's why I think
it's a cool building. It's historic and it's beautiful, but time to get naked on the show again.
But like, in slightly catty talk, that business has been for sale for the better part of a decade, and has always been like monetarily overvalued. Like they've always been asking the FU price.
Yeah, and the owner will always entertain an offer and show them around and show them everything and then never bite.
But the price has always been slightly higher than yeah, exactly.
Sure. So when I hear these rumors, I go to the source. I didn't talk to the owner, but I talked to people working there. And I don't know how public this stuff is, so I can't go into detail.
Yeah.
But maybe.
It's a
I'm
possibility.
not saying yes, I'm not saying no. They're saying it could be.
All conjecture, all speculation, rumors, and nothing confirmed. We are not breaking news today.
Yeah. For once, if this were any other time, because I've heard that a bunch, and they've heard a bunch. You're like, oh, it's just all.
But I actually feel like this is
it could be
serious.
It could be. Yeah, the owner's not getting any younger.
Right.
He said, if the right price shows up, and then now maybe it is the right price. I don't know if it's 10. I didn't hear anything about 10, but we'll see.
10 was purely my guess because I would have. I would have guessed the value of the whole thing to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 7. And considering what they've been asking for the business itself,
it's prime downtown. There's 4 floors. There's the giant brewery space. There's a lot of real estate there.
That is my internally inflated price.
Sure.
So Campio, across the street from Yellowhead.
Across the parking lot. So just north of Yellowhead.
Okay.
Used to be the Characters restaurant.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a private dining room in the basement too.
Ooh. A supper club.
A supper club, eh? A nice rug joint. They are used to doing events with Last Best, so I imagine they'll go somewhere along that line, have a full kitchen. Mm-hmm. They're doing accessible beers to start. Their beer's already on the market with the All Malt Lager, which is a 6-row barley beer. The barley's traced back to one farm where they grow it, and then get it malted and then bring it in and brew it, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
Cool little heritage story there.
Always neat to have a story.
Yeah, but they'll be open, I want to say they had some delays with some other things. Again, private stuff can't get into, but probably like mid to late summer if everything goes to plan moving forward.
Right.
Which would be great. And then to have another great spot like close to the arena, go drink some good beers. They're also working on, even though they have their accessible beers to start, they talked about not doing IPAs.
Because they already have an IPA brewery?
Well, they already have a brand on the market at the Last Best.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, that's pretty much all they do.
But they are going to be doing barrel aging and fooders and a sour program, which is really cool. So you can serve the masses when it gets busy for, the games, and then when they all fuck off to the game, I'll sneak in and drink some sours.
What, you're not going to go cheer on your Edmonton Oilers this year?
No, thanks. Well, maybe once. I don't know. It's not my jam.
Yeah.
It's not my jam. I'd rather, cheer on a local business. Talk about them on a podcast.
Technically, the Oilers is a local business.
Is it?
Yeah, they're an Edmonton-based business.
Interesting.
Just because they're big doesn't mean they're not local.
Yeah, true. But who's the majority ownership?
Kate's Group.
Are they local?
Yeah, Rexall. That's an Edmonton company.
Rexall got sold though.
They're still owned by an Edmontonian.
This is a whole other podcast. We'll get into that later. I don't know. Anyway, Hawkins is not my jam. That's all. What's next? The Growlery. Oh, I'm pumped for this. So the Growlery is along Kingsway Ave.
Now, they've been on this section of the podcast before, have they not?
They have, yes. We thought they would open last year. We really did.
Okay.
They didn't. It happens.
Yep.
They get delays. They're very close, though. I was in there the other day after the Freezer Cask-Off event.
Right.
Staying with Mr. Kevin Dannard, and got a little tour.
Nice.
Most of the front of house is complete. They just need to add in taps, and they're waiting for like their board, like that shows all their beers and stuff like that. But the lighting looks great. The floor looks great. The bar looks cool. You walk into the back, all the equipment is in place. I believe it's all wired in and plumbed in and everything. They haven't done a water brew yet. They're just waiting for the contractors to finish up. There's like a few more electrical things.
Yeah.
And then they should move on to the rest of their, their licensing and permits and whatnot for brewing, occupancy and all that. And my guess is could be April. I'm thinking April. Yeah, I said it. Come on, Kevin. Now the pressure's on you.
My arbitrary date. That's something with no stake in this company whatsoever.
Yeah, I say April. Yeah, April. No, like with knowledge on the process and how long it takes. I think they could be brewing in March. Like it's not like I hope. Like it looks like they'll be brewing in March. They'll probably just open in April. Yeah. It's my like educated guess.
Cool,
Schools
cool,
out,
cool.
they're right by Blatchford, like Nate. This whole new development is going in, starting like homes are being built this year, this spring, like across the street.
Yeah.
Or watching this new development take place. So
Sweet.
they are ahead of the curve, and it's like a primo spot. Right now, you look at that spot, you're like, what the fuck? But they're looking into the future, right? So that's dope.
Cool, cool, cool. Who's next up?
Odd Company. Ooh, so I think Growlery might beat Odd Company to open, but I need to go visit Odd Company again.
Is it Odd Company or The Odd Company?
Odd Company.
Odd Company Brewing?
Odd Company Brewing, yeah. They are located in the old Telephone Exchange building, the Oliver Telephone Exchange building. It's like one...
Not the Telephone Museum over here on 83rd.
No.
They're
This
guys-
is north of Jasper Ave, east of 124th Street. There's like 119th Street and 102 Ave.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Brio Bakery just opened up in that spot.
Cool.
And they're killing it. Their food is awesome. There's a Kalina Grab and Go, like a quick serve, pre-prepared meals. Apparently they're famous for their, like, I don't want to say gourmet, like a locally made TV dinner. Apparently that's a thing. I'll have to try one just to be like, I don't know, what's else gonna be at a TV dinner? It's probably shit.
Yeah.
But apparently
Well,
they make like good ones that you just grab it, put it in the oven, and it's like actually
Oh, nice.
actually real food. And
Are you asking when the last time I ate something that came out of the microwave, or the last time?
no,
I ate
like a TV dinner, like with
in
the
a tray?
yeah, with the fucking corn and the brownie and the
Like I'm in fucking prison or boarding school or some such shit.
yes.
Cool. No, I haven't done that in. I have not got my hungry man on in many a
Over
year.
2 pounds of food. Like that's not a selling feature for me, anyway.
For you, clearly it is for somebody.
God damn. Anyway, Odd Company is going to be killing it. They'll have 50-seat tap room.
Oh, nice.
3.5 hex system, super small.
Oh, sweet.
Just
so no
like
package, like all tap.
yeah, I think it'll be all tap
Nice.
room. Just like cozy in the neighborhood. Like there's so many people
Kitchen.
that live around there. I don't know if they'll do food. They might just be snack. I don't think they have room for a kitchen.
Yeah,
I really
fair.
don't think they do. And with the Kalina next door, Brio
Yeah.
Bakery also next door. Transcend Iconoclast Coffee just opened up in that
Okay.
space too. I don't think you need it. You could probably run. Hey, is it cool if I run next door and grab a
Yeah, the
fancy
same
TV
way,
dinner?
right.
And they'll be like, sure, we'll bring it over for you. Like you never know. They
Yeah.
could do something real cool with
In
that.
the same way that the Empress lets you order pizza into their bar,
Yeah.
like because they don't have really like
Yeah.
you can buy chips, but I think that's it.
Ben Stick is the same way,
Oh really?
right? They have snacks, they have chips, and they have some pepperonis. But
Yeah.
they're like, if you want to bring in food, bring in food.
Yeah.
So that's my part of my East Side tour. You grab a sandwich at Victoria Fancy Sausage, and then you just eat your big ass sandwich and have a pie. It's great.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pumped for those guys. They should be fantastic. I think they really know what they're doing. They're in a cool spot. It's an area that needs a brewery.
Yeah.
And now we'll have breweries east of the brewery district, one very north, or what was it, 17 feet north of the brewery district, and one west of the brewery district. But no breweries in the brewery district
Yet.
yet. Lots of rumors, but most of them have been
That's
debunked.
Yeah.
So nothing there. And then the other one for sure for Edmonton this year, finally, I mean, we'll see. This could be on the 2020 podcast. No, probably not. They'll open. Polar Park.
Aren't they technically open?
They're not. As a
They-
brewery. As a brewery. As a brewery.
If I go there for their salsa night, can I drink Polar Park beer?
They didn't make it.
Okay.
They don't have their brewing license. So that's my...
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
That's
part
why,
of
like,
the
if
story.
you're a brewery, you have a brewery producing beer for your space. So, like, Revival Brewcade, they only actually opened the very end of last year, technically as a brewery. They didn't have a brew house before. They just had a contract brewer,
Yeah.
brought it in, they're a pub.
Well, they still don't
For
have a
bar.
brewing license, don't they?
No, they do. They're producing their own beer now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Yeah, I was invited to the Friends and Fam media industry launch last night. I couldn't make it. I'm
Yeah.
in Edmonton.
Obviously.
I could have driven back.
You
Yeah.
don't have to fuck with AGLC and Red Bison anymore.
Sure.
Wasn't it them that got like all up in arms because they had to order their own beer from Connect? They couldn't just have it delivered directly to them. Did you not hear about
Oh,
this?
probably. Yeah, the old rules is that you couldn't self-distribute. The old rules. New rules is you can be a contract brewer. So you just need your, it's like your import license,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Now you can actually deliver without having to go through
Yeah.
Connect, which is great. That's
Yes,
good progress.
That is smart.
Yeah,
thing
it's
to do.
crazy. You're like, oh, we have to send our shit all the way to St. Albert just to send it back to Calgary. But
Yeah.
centralized distribution, again, whole other conversation.
It's the only way to make that happen.
It's, yeah. All right, so Polar Park, yes, technically they are open for events, for private events. They keep pulling a private event license every time they do salsa night, so it's good. They need to make some cash flow.
That's got to get expensive.
It's not. The full no, a license is for like a liquor license for a night is like $10 or $15. It's cheap. Yeah, like when you go to a wedding and you bring in liquor, it's like a $10 license.
Yeah, for a wedding, not for a business. That's an expensive license.
But it's still a private event. You can't just walk into Polar Park.
Yeah,
you have to buy a ticket to it or pay admission at the door. It's a private event.
They must have changed that rule in a
Anyway,
while. Because I know the license you're talking about for a private event,
yes.
but for something ticketed, that used to be a different license, and it was like hundreds of dollars.
Anyway, if you bring in a couple G's in a night, then it's probably worth it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
They're doing an event. Their beer is currently brewed at Situation. They've got basically a dry pale ale. I've had it. It's very tasty.
So they're serving Polar Park beer. They're just not
Yes.
making Polar Park
Correct.
beer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So their issue is that they were held up with their boiler. It was a high pressure system. They had to re-engineer it to get it low pressure, so you don't have to have like an engineer on site at all times, power engineer, or someone with their ticket with that. Anyway, it's been complicated. It's been a long road, long story, longer. It's a beautiful space, big event space upstairs. It's gorgeous, big stage. That they actually the old it used to be the B-Bell Bakery.
Yep, I remember.
They have a welder on staff, right? Tim, he's a gem. He chopped up this old oven, like it was giant, right?
Yeah.
Filled a room, and built a stage with it. And it's probably the most over-engineered stage you'll ever see. It's solid.
Shit, cameras there.
Yeah.
Way shit in front of it.
Cameras. Yeah, this is new. We'll see how this goes.
We could get you a better setup than what we've got.
Yeah, but we're starting with this.
I know. I'm just saying that we can improve this with very little effort.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
All right.
Polar Park. So keep on keeping on. Hopefully they're open and producing beer. It's really on the boiler. And
All right. That's 5.
That's 5.
So
prediction is 5 that like open. I think Monolith will open this year, like their tap room. I think they will open fall or end of the year. So I'm gonna go with 5 for Edmonton. So for Calgary, it seems low because they opened a fuck ton last year. We'll see. Let's go through it. So these people that are like construction, like shit's happening.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, they just
Shovels in the ground.
Totally, shovels in the ground. Thank you. Freehold, number 1. So they already have product on the marketplace. They've been contract brewing for a year and a bit now, year and a half maybe, and they're producing some pretty good beer. It's nothing crazy. They have a good lager. They've got their Lacey Stacy Saison.
That Belgian IPA thing is pretty tasty.
Yeah, that was good. They just came out with Airmail. It's their new. Oh, that was a Belgian IPA.
Yeah, that's
Airmail. Yes,
Airmail.
Airmail. And they have a Belgian table sour at like super low percentage, which I'm excited to try. I think I'm seeing Christina next week. Get a little hookup. Anyway, I'm pumped to try it. Unless I find it in the store, I'll of course go buy it first. But yeah, they're doing a good job. They've got a space just as you like the east of Calgary, east downtown Calgary, East Village, I believe is. I don't think they're technically East Village, but I think they're further more in downtown than that. Shovels are in the ground, like they're doing renos, they're working on it. They bought Blind Man's former brew house, 15-barrel brew house,
which had a very cute, encouraging message written on it when they got it. I don't know if you saw those pictures.
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Well, no, I feel like it's like congratulations. Don't fuck it up.
Yes, of course. You're stepping into big shoes. You're stepping into big brews,
something like that.
Kind of whatever. Yeah.
It was funny. It was cute.
Yeah, they give a hard time with love. So, it should be a really good location. There's like a barbecue spot, like I don't know if it's the same building or right across the way, and the team, like Tavis and Matt, they seem to know what they're doing. They're into it. They're going decently big from what I recall. Well, 15-barrel system. Yeah. It's like a good size. Blind Man did it.
Yeah.
There's no excuse on the equipment end, Freehold. So
no, none whatsoever.
I guess the pressure's on, right? But yeah, they're saying summer 2019 is what they told me.
What do you think? This is your prediction show. Don't.
I know. I curate all this stuff.
True journalism is telling people is saying what other people don't want you to say. Everything else is PR.
There was an issue with a city thing with like a sidewalk or something that they had to resolve.
Oh.
And that could be quick or that could take forever. Fun fact related to the city of Calgary with love, but like, come on, some of this shit needs to be figured out. Tool Shed, it took them like a year and a half to get their patio license.
Yeah.
New Level, of course, applied last summer in like the spring to get their patio license for the summer. They got it just a few weeks ago, at the peak of how cold it was at minus 20 in January.
But now they got it.
But now they got it. So there was a dude sitting outside drinking a beer to show that they got their license. Anyway, like Calgary could move quick on it, or they could move really slow on it. It's just, I think it's kind of like HLC things. If you get the right person who knows what to do that moves along, or the wrong person, they forget about it, or they move away, or it gets misfiled. And there's always, it's still humans, right? We make mistakes, and mixing a bureaucratic process, and you could be holding your breath for a while.
One of the, I'm sure we've talked about it before, but you've been into the Connect building, haven't you?
I'm going on a tour on Monday.
Nice. Okay, so what I find very cool about it is like
the new one too.
That warehouse used to be completely automated.
Yep.
Like completely automated. You can still see the train tracks where the little things would run around and pick up all the cases. Sure. But that meant that case size had to be like standardized.
Yeah. Which is impossible.
You couldn't
or
do
nearly
that.
impossible. Yeah.
Exactly. So like the thing that lets us have a dearth of choice is also a thing that adds more fuck ups into the adds more potential for fuck ups into the system, right?
For customizable and full of flaws.
Efficiency is not always the best way. The most efficient way is not always the best way to go about it.
True. Yep. 100%. I love it. We're getting deep on this show.
All right. What's next?
Heathens. So Wes, he's building the first. So first of all, he's building a brewery. We'll talk about that first.
Heathens.
Yeah. Okay.
Heathens. Yeah. I'm familiar with the term.
You gotta shake your fist when you say it. You sound like a farmer with a pitchfork and some sort of flaming torch. They're just north of the Bermuda Triangle.
Holy fuck.
It's a thing. They're making it a thing. They just brewed a beer too. It's great, but
who's in the Bermuda? Well, so like by its very nature, the Bermuda Triangle can only be 3 breweries, can't it?
Yes.
Okay, so who are the other?
So they're north of the Bermuda Triangle.
But who are the other?
If they were in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle, they disappear and everything.
Right. So who are the 3 breweries in the
Tool Shed?
Yeah.
Red Bison.
Way up north. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
In the northeast of Calgary. So these guys, isn't that funny? So these guys, they've actually had, they had a kind of homebrew supply shop, and they would sell gluten-free beer kits.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing in there?
And they're opening a all gluten-free brewery.
Nice.
Which I'm excited about. If we can get more good gluten-free, because there is good gluten-free beer out there. Omission was fine. What's the one that comes to mind? Glutenberg, of course. Who made Steve Glutenberg a star?
But look here, kids. You wanna jump into this little pool that we're all playing in? Find something that nobody's doing and do that. Like, instead of opening not to like knock anybody who wants to open a brewery and make whatever kind of beer they want to make, that's fine.
Yep.
But the genius in that idea I see is like, what's nobody else doing? Oh, brewing all gluten-free beers. Yep. We should probably do that, and we will then not have to run and be like, look, we've got a pale ale, a brown ale, an IPA, and a lager equivalent. Yep. And having to convince somebody that you're better than everybody else, it's like, no, we can offer you something that nobody else in this province is offering.
True.
Smart.
Now, it gets better because...
It gets better?
Next door, they didn't know this. They had no idea. It's totally by chance. A cider company is...
serendipitous.
Just great. That'll be like the gluten-free strip, whatever you want to call it.
I'm sure we'll come up with a word for it.
Yeah, we'll just edit this and something clever will come
something
up.
will pop into our minds.
So anyway, that should be good.
Cool.
Are, just timeline-wise, I'm referencing my notes. They're saying early spring, so they're coming along nicely. They said construction's done. They're waiting on the city, and they're waiting on some licensing, so... You keep forgetting you're on.
I know.
And you're just pointing like a crazy person.
Trying to command my dog places.
Yeah. Anywho, so that'll be good. Next one is Outcast.
I saw they broke ground.
Yeah, so we put them in the guide for the winter issue because they had a space, allegedly, near the Beer Rev 130th Ave, way in the southeast.
It was a sick ostrich.
Allegedly.
But that fell through?
Yeah, it wasn't. The landlord promised certain things, and it was never officially signed, and and then there was some hesitation on the developer side. So Patrick and Kristen walked away from it.
Right.
So Patrick and his wife Kristen, they've been working on. Well, they keep on putting out new beers. I don't know if you tried their the heavily fruited New England. Basically, New England Pale Ale. Well, they did about a pound of fruit per liter of liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have not tried it.
It's a fruit bomb. I had one yesterday. It's a very good beer, but it's like it's a lot. It's the juice on juice on juice. Just pat the puppy. She's adorable.
She's been a pain.
Little cricket. You know, ratings go up when you put puppies on shows, right? Just you don't have to.
Come here, sweetie.
Anyway.
You keep going.
So Outcast keeps on pushing the limit. Look at that, Popo. What a good dog. What a long dog. Mark. That's about it.
Fuck you, Dad. Put me down.
Tails wiggling again. So Outcast is doing it. Now their new location, Breaking Ground, is in the Barley Belt.
Oh, good for
So
them.
it's between, I believe, Annex and OT.
Nice.
So it's kind of South Barley Belt, but still in that little cluster, which is great. So he wants to do most of his beer sold, or if not all, on site.
Nice.
So constantly rotating beers. Like you said, they broke ground. They were cutting concrete just the other day. Should move along quickly. And
So does that mean no more packaged Outcast?
that's a good question. I mean, maybe if he wants to sell off his stuff that he brews on site, I don't know. He might keep I think the numbers are good on contract brewing for most people.
Yeah.
That maybe he consider continuing contract brewing for some of his brands. Like you never know.
Yeah, I feel if it was sustainable though, that they just keep doing that. Like, why invest a lot of time and money in a space that's going to tie you down when if you're already making money contracting? Why would you want to?
Yeah, you just layering your streams of revenue.
Yeah.
It's a good question. We'll have to
And
get him
I'm
on the show.
again not throwing shade at anybody. I realize that everything that comes out of my mouth sounds bitchy, so I'm trying.